Hey, Motorman here, and today we're going to talk about the experienced rider, and at the end of this video I'm going to give you my tip of the week. I think you're going to like it, so stick around. So okay, I'm going to take this time today to talk about, well, experienced riders. I'm using quotation marks, and exactly what does that mean? Well, I say most people who consider themselves experienced riders been riding for, I don't know, 10, 20, 30, 40 years or more, and that entire time what they've been doing is riding down the road, nice easy pace, making a nice big wide turn once in a while and coming to an easy stop. You've been doing that for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. It makes you very good at cruising down the road, making big wide turns once in a while and coming to an easy stop. It takes no skill. You should be able to do that about the second day ever on a motorcycle. So one day, and this happens quite often, at my class, it was actually the end of the class, a rider pulls in and he says, is this where you get your motorcycle license? And most of the time I just say no, that this is an advanced riding course. You have to have a license just to come to this course. He said, yeah, well, I've been riding for like 25 years. He's got a bit of an attitude. I've been riding 25 years. I have plenty of experience, but I got to take the class anyway. I said, well, if you want to be legal and have a motorcycle endorsement, yes, that's what you got to do. He said, that's ridiculous. I mean, he actually cursed a few times, but I won't do that. He said, and there's no other way of doing it. I said, well, you could take an advanced course like this, and if you pass it, well, you can get your license. Now, I'm messing with him because I can't do that. But he says, oh, really? He says, well, what do you got to do here? So I happened to be standing by the intersection exercise, and my wife was there with me. These are just the students are leaving the class. I says, well, for instance, you think you could go through this intersection? It's a series of left-hand U-turns, right turns, left-hand U-turns. He says, oh, yeah, I could do that. I says, well, I'll let my wife show you how it's done first, and then let's see if you could repeat it, and then I'll show you the other things that you have to do. So my wife whips through the intersection, and she's hip to what's going on. And the guy's watching. He says, I can do that. So I said, okay, go ahead, give it a try. So he pulls in, he makes the first right turn, and he's really wide, actually on the wrong side of the road. Now he gets to, that leg is 36 feet long. He gets about 15 feet down that leg, and he's going like 2 miles an hour, which is too slow to turn the bike. And he starts to duck walk it around the U-turn. He can't make it. Now he's got to back up the bike. So I walked over. I says, you got to be able to make this. It's just 3 U-turns in a row. Nothing to it. You're experienced, right? Yeah, I got 25 years I've been riding. I said, okay. I said, tell you what, why don't you just follow my wife through, but stay close to her so you know where to go. So okay, he's going to give it a try. So my wife takes off, and he's right behind her, but she didn't go like 3 bike lengths, and he falls way behind. She makes the first right-hand turn. He makes the right-hand turn wide again. She makes the left-hand U-turn in the first leg, and again, he stops the bike, and he has to back it up. So I walk over, I said, no, you got to follow her through it. He said, well, I'm trying. He's getting mad. I said, but you're experienced, right? Yeah, I've been riding forever. I said, you can't even make a simple U-turn? Oh, I could do it. I said, well, let's start over again. So he pulls out of the exercise. We go back to the beginning, and my wife pulls up in front of him, and as soon as she does that, he turns the handlebars right out the parking lot, through the gate. He takes off. So that was the experienced rider. Riding 25 years, thinks he knows what he's doing, but he actually has no idea how to, even the simple thing of making a U-turn, how to turn a motorcycle around. He can't do it. What chances he have when something gets in his way? And that's what my course is all about. is avoiding obstacles. Anybody can cruise straight down the road hoping for the best. The problem arises when something gets in your way. If you can't avoid that something by leaning, swerving, and turning, knowing which brake to use, when to use it, well, you're a crash looking for a place to happen. And a lot of people have close calls doing exactly that. But they tend to forget about it or blame somebody else, or they weren't paying attention, or any number of excuses. So don't be that experienced rider, folks. Learn proper technique. Get yourself some skills. If you think riding a motorcycle is fun now, imagine how much more fun it is when you actually know what the hell you're doing. And you're able to avoid the most common motorcycle crashes. And that's what we teach. Simple stuff. You can learn it in about 3 or 4 hours. We got my Ride Like a Pro Experience video. We'll teach you exactly how to do it step by step. I tell people, get the video, practice at least the first 2 exercises before they come to the class. Or if you just come to the class, you'll at least know what you're in for if you get the video. The best 20 bucks you'll ever spend. Thanks for watching, folks. Now here's my tip of the week. All right, now I'm going to show you how to easily adjust the clutch on any of the M8s. First thing you want to do is slide this up. This piece right here slides up and down. Now you'll notice right here you got 3 little red pieces, plastic. There's 2 on this side and the larger one on this side. So the first thing you need to do is press on these 2 little ones right here. Doesn't take much. This red piece now has released the spring here. So according to Harley specs, this is the way it should be. That gives you about a 1/16 of an inch of play. And once you've got that, you're going to press this back in and you're going to slide this back down. But if you're like me and you want that clutch to grab closer to the grip because it makes using the friction zone so much easier, what you need to do is, once again, press these red things. That's popped it out. And now we're going to compress this spring just a tiny bit. It doesn't take much pressure at all, and it might take some trial and error, but when I compress this just a tiny bit and then lock it in place, that's usually good for me, but we'll check the free play. Yeah, that's about the free play that I like. Harley says you should have a 1/16 of an inch. That's probably, I guess, a 1/4 of an inch or so. If you like it to grab further out, just do it to Harley specs. If you like it to grab closer so that your friction zone grabs right about here, then you want a little bit more free play and you want to compress that spring just a tiny bit. It may take a couple of times to do it to get the feel to see exactly where you want this to grab. So that's it. That's my tip of the week. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you learned something. And please give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe.